There we go. And we are live. All right, y'all. So I guess y'all can go and introduce yourselves. We'll start with you, Jade.
Oh, hey, I'm Jade.
Y'all can call
Nope.
me Lethal Queen. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
What's
how
up?
you doing, Jade? How you doing?
Who your Funk 96?
Well, I'm Kevin.
the the returning.
Yeah, Funk 96. Whole bunch of names. I go by a whole
Brandon.
bunch of names. Period.
Yeah, this is Brandon, Blaze, Xbox Live Blaze. Too many other nicknames I want to give. Shouts out to all my boys back home in Memphis. Memphis Jug and G Force, we still in here.
The G way up there with his do rag
Yeah,
on.
you know what I'm saying? My Big Daddy Almighty, but they call me cute. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
Nipple
y'all.
liquor.
Man,
So
shut your ass.
so today we talking about
Come on, play so much, bro.
toxic masculinity versus toxic femininity. I'm gonna start by asking, is there such a thing? Do y'all believe there's such a thing? I'm gonna start with you, Jake.
It
I don't, man.
depends.
I don't believe
It
it.
depends on what you're
Oh,
talking about.
Just in general thing, it's like if it's something that means something to you.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna say yeah.
Okay. What about you, Brand?
Yes, on both sides. I believe you can actually have, if some people don't believe the word toxic, we can say hyper. Um, too much of either or. You can have too much of masculinity or too much of femininity, depending on who you are, situations you're being raised up in, and how you interact with the humans on a day-to-day basis.
I
Okay.
agree with I agree with Brandon.
Okay. What about you, Wolf? Funk 96.
I don't know,
I
man.
guess he go.
I don't think this shit exists. I
Okay.
don't know,
All
man.
right. Why you think that?
I just think that I don't know, but it just some. It just don't make sense to me. That's why I'm
Hmm.
saying I don't think it exists because I really haven't experienced the shit, so I can't really just say, "Oh, it exists" or "it don't." You know.
Hmm.
So
Okay. What about you, Lethal?
when we say toxic femininity, what we talking about? You know, like when we say toxic masculinity, what we talking about?
I was gonna say, I guess it just goes into your personal view on, what do you find toxic by the other sex or the same sex? Like just toxic, as far as tendencies, you know, trying to be dominant with his
I just
movements
feel
or
like,
anything like that.
all right. Well, I just feel like women just trying to be controlling. If we gonna say that, if is that what toxic femininity mean? Like women trying to be controlling and all of
It
this,
could,
or trying to have their way.
it could be, I
Is that
guess.
what we saying?
It could be.
Okay, and when it come to toxic masculinity, what that mean? You know, like the man trying to be controlling. Is that what we talking about?
Mhm.
Like,
What you think?
you
What
know,
you
like
think,
what is this? Like, ain't nobody explaining it.
this nigga? What you think, Lethal?
We got the floor.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a lot of toxic masculinity over there. I think it does exist though. I absolutely think. I think so, but to be honest, I just feel like it's far more toxic masculinity than femininity in gaming. Typically.
Okay.
She must be on her PlayStation helmet slash mic.
Yeah.
I
So,
was
okay.
like, I'm too low or I'm too loud. Can you explain yourself?
Actually sounds far away, but I can hear you. But
Let
I
me
don't know if
change
everybody else
this.
can hear you clearly.
Okay. So, have y'all seen any examples? If you do think it's a thing,
Um, Absolutely. Examples would be, I would say, like referring to men, because I play mostly with men, is very a lot of aggressiveness, a lot of yelling, a lot of cursing, a lot of threatening, um, misogyny. Ugh. And when they like kind of try to, I've experienced a lot where guys would typically like to either pick on you more in a game when they find out you're a female, or they kind of pin the females against each other in a sense, or try to make it seem as if like one has to be the best, one has to be better than the other.
okay, okay. So it's more so in just, I guess, the conversations and the dealings with women, basically, as far as toxic masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay. What about you, Brandon?
So I kind of
Okay.
covered this a couple shows ago about I guess my viewpoint on both of them, on how they are destructive to the way of life and the way of thinking of a normal person. Actually, to help out Funk a little bit for the masculinity part, um, basically of how society groomed a lot of generations' mind of understanding of uh, men are more powerful instead of able to do things differently. And that's logically how it particularly is. Um, Usually, how when it comes to us, we have a tendency of like suppressing emotions, which also is a toxic trait from that one. Or we're trying to be the stronger, bigger person of always showing the assertive of dominance, everything like that. That's usually the main traits that a lot of people have a problem with when it comes to the toxic masculinity part. Femininity part, that's um, we are getting a unfortunate different look into that one. We're having a borderline uh, okay and then not okay moments when it comes to femininity, when it comes to society. There are things that I think, majority of everybody understands of saying, hey, that's wrong. Sexual harassment, blah blah blah. Having a guy or a woman of power use that against somebody who's under is toxic, no matter what, of either or, and that's wrong. We kind of understand that one, but we didn't understand the extent of how far that goes into entertainment, how far that goes into, well, really almost any form of entertainment, music, movies, sports, gaming, almost anything from that one. There's always multiple toxic traits from there. So yeah, it's it's something that currently we're starting to see the understanding, but there's still a ways to go of how we can change society's mindsets when it comes to toxic traits, both for men and women, on what do we actually need to change and what will be something that we would think to say, hey, we might need to look into a little bit later. As I said, something about like suppressing emotions for men, telling other men you can't feel this way or you can't feel that way. If you do, you're a bitch. If you cry, that's a toxic mindset that a lot of people are now starting to get away from.
Okay. Oh, we got Hassan just came in.
That's my
Hassan, we
boy.
talked about toxic masculinity versus toxic femininity. Do you think there's is such a thing?
I do believe that there is such thing as toxic masculinity, and there is also a toxic femininity. Either or, there's toxic behavior in both men and women when it comes to dealing with each other, even when it comes to dealing with their children. There's toxic traits in both. Um, we see more so of it in society now, as far as men's concerned. It's just the way that even if, for instance, I seen the other day. Um, I seen this young man. He was 12 years old, and he came out as gay, I guess, to his fathers, and they cut gay in the side of that young man's head. and they got the beating up on them, and then they they live stream that. That's toxic behavior, and we see more and more of things like this, as people record it and put it out on social media. So we see a lot of that behavior. We also see women talking bad about men all day, every day on Facebook and Instagram. And I mean, again, it's on both ends of the spectrum, and it's and now that COVID is out, and we see more and more of it because people just been sitting around, ain't got nothing better to do but to talk shit on the internet.
Okay.
True. True.
So anybody got any examples, other examples they want to use?
Let me see, man. Alright, so I got an example. You know what I'm saying? So look, man. I told the bitch. This is what I told her. Like, oh shit. My bad. Hey, so look, my bad. This why I told the female, right? So look, it's just like you can't even complain nowadays because the female said that you a bitch. Now for real though, it's like as a man, you just supposed to take all this shit. Don't say nothing. Yeah, that ain't right there.
Okay, riveting. Uh, Jay, you got any examples?
On let me see. Okay, I think that it's toxic for women or men to put people in gender roles. Like an example, okay, like
I'm saying this is
women.
not a good topic. This is a fucking retarded topic. Like it's hard. Like damn, I didn't know what the fuck. It's hard, bro. Hey.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Jay. You keep going.
I just lost my thought.
It's fine. All right. So who bigger hoe? I'm just saying. This what it goes down to. You feel me? My females get mad because a nigga can slime their pipe and they ain't got to be considered a hoe. And these hoes want to get their dick up in them. You feel me? Want to slime their coochie her and they consider hoes. So they want to call us sensitive. You feel me? When we got something to say. This how it goes down right there. At the end of the day, right there, hoe want to be hoe. And these niggas, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I'm high as a bitch. Right? I ain't gonna lie. I'm high
I
than a
see.
fly on the trap. You feel me?
I
All
see.
right, so, damn. What we
Well,
talking about?
just if you got any examples of it.
Shit. Nah, I mean, shit, you see example of that joint every day, really. Shit, you see Meg the Stallion and the Tory Lane shit. When he spoke up about it, shit, they called him a bitch. But shit, whenever she take the front, shit, everybody got something to listen to whatever the hell she say. It's kind of like, man, like a woman could call and say that a dude, touched her and he could get locked up. But if a dude called the police say the same thing that a female touched him inappropriately, shit, they gonna laugh at his ass.
Okay. I know Jay was speaking about like gender roles, so as far as placing either in gender roles, I don't know. I think people do that because it just they do it to the benefit of each other. Like so, women want to just sit at home and think, oh, man's supposed. I just was saying it actually. Men's supposed to pay 100% of the bills, and while they sit at home, and
Right.
this one in regards to saying like I do nothing, like you do everything, and I do nothing,
Right.
Mhm.
and saying, oh, if you pay any man and woman going 50-50, oh, y'all just stand together. I think that's first of all, people run their household how they see fit. So,
Yeah, yeah, true.
I mean, you can't really call anybody's way of how they do run their household any type of name. But I definitely think that's crazy on that end.
It seems like when a man even suggests to even attempt to say let's try to build this foundation. Let's not even saying 50-50. I'm just saying like, if we both pull our money together, the sheer utterance of that. Let's you go out there and even say something like that in some type of chat. Your ass get clowned. and women think you like less of a man. I'm like, well, wait a minute, let's and they don't really think about let's think about this. Let's say if a man's making 75,000 a year, let's put it even 70,000 a year, both of them, right? You're both in a relationship, you know, y'all together or whatever, and so both y'all making this money. So y'all want to build a foundation or whatever. So let's say both of y'all, you know, you pool your income together, you put it in a pool together, whatever. You get a bank account. Boom. Y'all both have your savings on the side. I mean, y'all get a crib. Let's say 1,400 for a nice little 2 bedroom down here in Dallas, whatever. Y'all both, you know, you save money on the side on both ends, right? So let's say if we're gonna go with the mindset of now the man pays everything. Let's say if the man and women are still making the same, the woman now live with the man. Man have to pay for everything now. He has to pay 14 for the rent, for the for the electricity. You got to pay for the whole crib. You got to pay for everything now. Meanwhile, she's still saving her money, right? She ain't got to pay for shit except for her car note. She's still saving money. So let's say these guys get married, and let's say some random thing happened, they end up getting divorced. It's always a man got to end up giving up everything. Meanwhile, she's still stacking money the whole entire time, right? While they're in a relationship, because he's paying for the entire thing. And then he's moreover going to be feeling the pain of everything else while she's going to come out, hey, is what it is, because she saved all that money that entire time. But nobody really want to talk about that portion of it when it comes down to this thing, because they have this mindset of, yeah, it's like how it was in the 50s when a man just supposed to take care of everything. This is 2021. Shit, the the minimum wage haven't changed in 25 years. How long? You know, there are things that people got to understand, especially when it comes to finances, that some people just, you just can't make a man pay for everything and expect that from him because somebody said some shit online or what these men are pumping in your head when you listen to his music or something like that. So yeah, that's very toxic. Once you even start talking about it, it's like everybody just like hone in on you as a man. It's kind of crazy.
Okay, okay. So what you think going into that whole sense that like women telling men is like what a real man is and what a real man does?
But how's a woman that ain't got no father gonna tell somebody what a real man is?
How was the father? Who's the nigga who ain't got no father can tell the same thing?
Oh man, oh please unmute. Oh my god, but my phone unmute. Yeah.
But
Grew up with a mom, grew up with women. Kind of know we what, not saying that all women supposed to be the same, but it sure enough ain't supposed to be the way y'all be talking about it, how it's supposed to be. And that's just not the way it's supposed to be, because times have changed. For real, it's 2021.
what you
A
think,
lot,
Funk
for
96?
real. Yeah, times has changed. Now I'm starting to get all right. So yeah, times has changed, and women seem to not to. They try. It seems like women not getting it. Like stuff is rent is going up. It's not like how when our grandparents was living and their parents was living. Daddy could work a job and feed the whole family because rent wasn't that high. You know what I'm
Gas is
saying? And
25
food
cents and
wasn't
shit.
that high. And they farm, and our grandparents and their parents, they was farming. Just like every time I come to Mississippi, my grandparents always talk about how they used to farm and how they used to do this. We ain't farming no more. We not, you know what I'm saying? So the woman and women are, and like the brother said, women are out here getting money and they don't want to spend their money, but they expect a man to do everything while you got this boatload of money. And that's not cool. But then when the man say, you know what? Fuck that, I ain't giving her nothing. Oh, you wrong. Oh, you misogynistic. Oh, you a sexist. Oh, you all this crazy. You just all these made up words. But then again, women are the biggest every little word that they throw at men. They the biggest sexist. Uh, most women hate other women. Men don't hate women. When we tell a woman, hey, you know what I'm saying, don't do this, or stop wearing weave, stop wearing makeup. Oh, you being toxic. You being, no, I'm just telling you what I like. And then a lot of you women, y'all say men don't say what we don't like or what we do like. But when we tell y'all, we are sexist, or we being this, or we being that, and that's not right.
What you think,
And it
Lee?
falls.
You agree with Funk saying?
Absolutely not.
Okay, okay,
Absolutely not to.
okay. Anything that you see on the masculinity side, as far as that, gender roles or home life that, like, maybe say men get wrong today?
No, I don't.
Okay, okay. What about you, Jade?
Okay, can you repeat the question?
Like, do you think, like, I know what either what Funk said or basically, do you see any problems on like the masculine side of things, the toxic masculinity side of things, as far as what they get wrong or home life, gender roles?
I mean, I definitely think it depends on the person and who you dealing with. But I feel like if I had to give an example, um, what men do, they can be controlling, and they like to tell you what to wear, what to do, where to go, but then they don't want you saying anything to them. So,
Mhm. What if you
so
got a man though, in that sense that he's paying all the bills and
Right.
everything?
no, I mean, to each his own. I mean, what if he's not paying all the bills? What if they half and half?
But that's what some women say they want.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's a
most
I
women
mean,
say they want a man who pay
between
all the
what
bills.
it's a difference between what women say they want and what they're actually like getting.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
understandable. But okay, if we is going 50-50, okay, we have to listen to each other. We playing a team role. And if the other person is not playing a team, then why are you dealing with this person?
Exactly.
This is why you know what I'm saying. This is why I don't see toxic femininity or mask, because I ain't finna deal with nobody that I don't want to deal with.
I mean,
Soon as a
because
person ain't,
the actions are still actions, so it
Mhm.
still exists despite
I
being in
think
a
people,
relationship or not. Because like even your male or female friends can be toxic.
yeah,
Right, that's
yeah,
true.
that's true too. You be having dudes who tell, you know what I'm saying, tell their
Right.
homeboys, man, fuck that bitch, man, you ain't whoop the whoop.
Or you a
And you
simp
got
for just putting
females,
your woman,
yeah,
or you a
yeah.
simp for just staying at the house with your woman instead of being out with the niggas all night. That's very toxic.
But
I know, right?
So when Russell
why is
Simmons
this
is
man with
simp
a
or
woman hanging with
corny,
single
but
dudes?
toxic.
I'm just
Just
saying,
like,
like,
Oh, go ahead, G.
nah, shit, my bad. I'm over here reading this shit.
Okay, okay. So what y'all think about in the media? You got all this pro stuff going on as far as agenda wise, or what I think as far as the feminist agenda. You got the LBGT, them letters agenda,
It's too much. It's
and you
too much.
got so much of it is they're trying to integrate this in everything in our everyday life. You see it in children's cartoons, things we watch, pop culture, everywhere is everywhere. And I think on the woman's side, it can get to be toxic when it's just like that other movement is just like I'm in this and I want you to know. I want to hit home that I'm a woman doing this. Like, I'm gonna shove this down your throat. This is women. We are women. What y'all
But
think about that?
I still have an issue with whether that women are treated in society. They are treated exponentially different than they are men. I mean, they really don't. They do get 60 cents to a dollar. Um, and be that if you're a black woman, you probably get less than that. I
Oh,
mean, if we really want to get down to it, I mean, if a woman is in the same position that I'm in, I'm going to get paid more than she is, no matter which way it's
mm.
sliced.
Mm-hmm.
It
And that
depends on what. It depends on what area though, Hassan.
well, yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, if it's in medical, if it's in medical field, women's going to destroy all men when it get come down to pay. If you come in IT field, some women they get paid more. But if you look at the whole, if you look at it as a whole, let's look at society as a whole. Let's say white women, white men, black women, black men who get on the pay scale. Black women is on the bottom of that whole spectrum. So the
The
black woman is very
absolute
is the
I
most.
doubt.
bottom.
I don't
The
know
They
about
are.
that.
I did tell
I
you this a couple episodes ago,
I
Savage.
don't
Listen,
know.
Right, he
no,
might be
I don't
right.
agree.
He might be right. He might
in
be
No,
in the
right.
corp
no,
in the corporate setting. I'm willing to bet. Yeah, and I mean
no.
and it's statistically true as well.
It is not
very
statistically
much
true.
so.
There
Hold on,
are
Very
what's
much
the
so.
too?
hold
It's
on.
illegal. It's illegal to get paid different wages for the same job. That's illegal.
But who
That
The
means
determines
only the
that?
Bro,
only
bro,
way that
that
would be
doesn't mean
true
it's,
is
it,
if
it doesn't mean
if this
it
woman
doesn't matter.
got bills or something.
right. So I know for a fact. So even me as a black man, if I go in a job in the IT industry, let's say if I go for a job they're paying 85,000, or well let's say 90,000, they'll ask me to get the 85. You know, they'll tell the white man whatever, but they'll tell a white woman 80. They'll end up probably telling a black woman 70. 78. That's exactly how it is.
That's
I
a
mean, cause
fact.
black people always at the bottom. Be the way it go. You feel me?
Well,
But the black
black women are at the absolute bottom.
when it comes, yeah,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if they are educated, no matter
Wrong.
No,
Even
it,
no,
if
no,
they
no.
are
You good?
educated, because I'm an educated black woman and I've worked in corporate America for like almost 8 to 10 years. And
Oh,
I've had to compete or I had to have certain education or experience versus Karen or Jeff or Michael who came from Wendy.
mhm.
And that's
and
one of the major things that we've always had to deal with.
and we can't even mention. We're not even going to mention sexism when it comes out of that as well.
Very
There's
much
oh
there,
so.
Lord.
there's a lot of that going on in the work, and we can't ignore that as well. I mean, I'm one that's going to look at it and see it for what it is. I'm not going to sit and ignore it because I mean, my mom was single mom. She had to deal with it in the workplace, and when she come home, if you ever watch your mom cry because of what happened at work, because of what them niggas did at work, because she's a black woman, and you know that she's not getting paid as much as everybody else. She got 3 kids. Damn all of that to them. She's a
And if
black
she
woman. She's
says
still gonna pay.
something about it, she's an angry black woman.
Exactly. And then the harassment ends up getting worse and worse. Okay. And then what they end up doing, they end up pushing them out because they end up quitting their job, or she's gonna end up blowing up, and they're gonna end up saying calling them an angry black woman, and they end up getting her fired.
And
But
then we don't
now, yeah,
get the book and hear y'all call her a broke ass bitch living off Section 8, not knowing what her situation is.
Hold
right.
on.
So
But you had those women, as soon as they get to certain positions, they have no problem calling men broke ass men.
they are not. They
Amen.
do not have a problem. They do not have a problem. You got that right.
When
That is
generations change, times
yeah.
had changed. Like, I don't,
Yes,
like women now, it's more about
I
opportunity now. Like they rather just risk everything for their little opportunity instead of what's better.
That's true,
There.
and that's what. And the
Go ahead.
family dynamic has gone because of that. The family dynamic in of itself has gone to a place where it's almost non-existent because the mom's always working, the dad's always working. There's really not too much cohesion because everybody working. The reason why everybody work because everything costs so goddamn much.
So what do
You
you
know,
say to people that have
Yeah.
seen like women be in higher management positions and not purposely like not hire black men?
I mean,
you
ain't
talk
never
about
heard that day in my life.
white
me
women or black women.
No, black women have
No.
been in managerial positions, higher up positions, especially in the corporate world, and have not hired black men.
No.
Oh,
I
bro,
never
I've
heard
never
this.
seen that.
That's never
I never
happened.
heard this.
The only thing that happened is like a white male or female would be very like discriminating as far as what race they were hired. I've even seen, I've had CFOs, I've had presidents like literally throw out like sexist slurs or who they won't hire. Or for example, for someone else who don't understand, when Rick Ross say he doesn't want a female artist because he knows he's gonna fuck them.
Mm.
I've never seen a black woman say she's not going to hire a black man ever.
Right.
No, she might not say it, but it's just one of those things. It just happens like that. I guess it's the way it shake out.
Will it be more implied for that black woman to say, I'm not going to hire a black man? Or would it be more implied that the black woman's going to say, I want more women like me around. I'm going to hire black women more?
Yes, I'd say
That's what you're saying.
maybe. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
okay. Well, if you want to balance out the workplace, if you're looking at those metrics as well, you got to look at the balance of the workplace. If you got this many men, right, this many black men, you want to really look at it. This many men, this many women, and if this comes down to a point where okay, we have to hire this man or woman. Wait, we have X many men. If you really want to keep this company progressive, we're going to have to hire a woman. Those are decisions that they do make at the upper level, and they have to make those decisions because they do not want to deal with that PR.
I would say for
Deal with that PR.
black women in leading roles that I see I'm doing for second. I'm gonna hire more black for second. I'm gonna hire more black in. I'm gonna hire more black women in corporate in the
Oh,
corporate
Funk.
world.
I think
In
your
corporate,
mic
in
is
the
on
Somebody's
is
corporate
echoing.
echoing.
world,
Somebody
I
watch
think
me.
your mic is on is echoing.
Somebody watch me. I don't know. You go ahead, Luther.
I would I would say like
Yeah, I think it's Funk.
Yeah, I think it's Funk.
May have to mute him for a second.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I've actually seen black women in leadership roles who have the mindset of I'm going to hire more black men and women. For an example, okay, so I'm gonna be fair and I'm gonna different examples as far as men and women. With a black woman in a leadership role, I've seen black women who strive to get more of her people in the workspace because I've worked in settings where it's more white men, women, and then third would be black women, then last would be black men unless it's a workhouse or like a warehouse. So we'll be in the corporate setting and it maybe two black men, but in the warehouse portion it's filled with them. But I've
So,
also dealt with, I remember I was so excited for I got this new position like 2 years ago and I was excited because at the time my CFO was a black woman and it was the absolute worst and most disrespected place I've ever experienced in my life.
okay. So you were just kind of speaking as far as the positions of like moving up, right?
As far as me seeing the negative and positive, as far as feminine, feminine, like women in, I guess, leadership roles and being toxic in a sense.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, say for instance, like I said, with this, when I had a black CFO and she was a female, she did a lot of, she wanted all male attention on her. If she saw another woman getting more attention than her, it was very apparent that she would then have like this, then like she would be very vindictive or try to have these small little competitions and then do the whole that basically I'm the baddest bitch in here kind of role, right?
Ah, okay.
So I'm gonna be fair with it. Yeah, it's happened, but I've also seen the same thing on men's side as well. Like, but more so, it's always unfortunately sexual with men in corporate world. So he won't. Well, I can't even say that. I've seen black men in management who's like, I'm not hiring no black bitches. They got attitude. Or
Whoa.
I've seen them say things or make sexual jokes and expect the woman not to feel any kind of way, or say certain things and as jokes and make you feel as if you're wrong for saying anything. I've seen plenty of women quit their jobs because of harassment from black men.
Okay, so let me ask you this: you and Jays and y'all the women. So there's been a thing since you said that, as far especially in the workplace, that women kind of change the climate of how, let's say, men talk and men act to be like kind of themselves in a work environment. You know what I mean? Like when women are around, things get kind of sensitive. More rules get in place. Like you think about that, like you just said, you know, making sexual jokes. Whereas, like you see it in jobs and orientations where they'll play the video. You make a joke just to your homeboy in the break room, and a woman is in proximity of y'all, and she heard it, and she felt some type of way. She can report y'all. So it
Yeah,
like,
because
does it
when
leave
certain
open?
things be said in the workplace anyway.
I mean, what if it's on break? You know, you and your home, y'all kind of outside hanging out the store. Like y'all work at Target, y'all outside the front door, y'all just talking.
That's just like
Becky
saying,
come off
well,
her break.
you on break and you have a weapon on you. You still on like work property. You'll still get fired.
Yeah, I kind of feel like if they're not actually talking to you or saying anything about the woman, then she shouldn't get mad because you eavesdropping on their conversation. So I don't think he should get in trouble for that. It's not towards you.
I think the complete opposite. If I overhear something, well, actually, I have heard men like make sexist remarks towards a few women in a work setting. And I don't necessarily do the HR thing, but I'm like, y'all need to chill. We're still at work. And it's called professionalism. That's why a lot of people aren't the right fit for those positions. So it's not about being more, I guess, sensitive around women. It's being professional. You can say whatever you want as long as it's professional and as long as it's not offensive to anybody. But if I walk past you and you saying how her ass is this and that, or she smell like this and that, like that's gonna make me uncomfortable.
But that's where the point, like as far as they say, when women get offended, because I know I've been at jobs and I've heard women talking, and they will get to going and let me tell you what this nigga Rashad did last week.
Same thing.
So but no one says anything. No one covers that.
No, that's not true.
They do not cover that. Don't nobody, and they nobody gonna tell on them. Hey.
Nah, that's not true. I've seen a lot of people get those mysterious, notes to HR because they weren't comfortable.
Maybe it's some white people here.
It could have been. It could have been the
Caucasians. We have to say something about that.
Yeah.
Let me ask the men on the panel.
They're gonna be the first ones. If they hear Rashad and Marcus talking about something, they're gonna be the first ones to say something about it. Yes.
Let me ask the men on the panel.
Have certain conversations in the work setting.
Do you guys encounter, and this is anything from the workplace to dating to just general interactions with women, do y'all have a sense of toxicity and entitlement or just bad attitudes?
Yeah, all the time. These hoes be acting uppity nowadays, man. Can't say shit to a hoe if you ain't got what you want. I mean, you ain't got what they want. Everybody know that shit true, man. I'm talking about like, just think about it like this, right? Man, a nigga, a very successful person, a male, could see a female who driving something beat down and who looks good, and he'll go holler at her. And you know what? She'll give his ass the time of day because, the car that he driving and how he got more than what she got. But let the other shoot, on the other foot. You know what the hell I mean? Turn this shit around. All right, boom.
What you think?
I'm saying like a female, if a nigga like a normal nigga walk up to a female, right? She driving in the Benz or something, and he ain't looking like how she look, she gonna turn his head down.
Okay, what you think, Funk?
I mean, I agree. I mean,
Have you encountered any female? Oh shit, you got an echo.
I do.
Yeah, you watching the show back?
No, I'm not. Hold on. All right, what about now?
Yeah, I think you good. It's low, but I think you good. You still got to echo a little bit though.
But yeah, I have encountered like a lot of toxic attitudes from black women because I only deal with black women, so I can only talk about black women. For example, like if you go into some of these workhouses, these fast food restaurants, and they have attitudes with black men, but a white man come behind you, she all nice and generous with him, and I
Mm.
find that very toxic, if you must say.
What did he say to her? Did he try to get her number? Did he say, "Hey"? Was he trying to hold up the line? Was he trying to be rude? Did he say psst, psst, and all the other dumb
Nope, and I
shit?
wasn't either.
Because
I wasn't either.
y'all always miss the point of like why did they get their reaction or why did they get their response to like because I've had niggas curse me out because I simply didn't even want to talk to them.
But we at they job. This ain't trying to talk to them or any of that. Because if a female don't show me no interest, I'm not finna chase her down. None of that. Them days over with. Because females nowadays is rude. They disrespectful. And a lot of times females be liking when these dudes actually be getting all toxic, as they say. And you can go online and watch these females tell on themselves. A lot of these females, because it's attention behind it. When these dudes be, hey, how you doing? Let me get your number. You rejecting him and he's still going and going and going. A lot of y'all complain about that, but a lot of times a lot of y'all be liking it. And that's kind of crazy that y'all complain about it, but y'all like it. And that's what's messing up a lot of the
I think that's
relationships
just ego
today.
stroking, and I mean that's on both sides. This just plays a part in ego.
What you think, Brandon?
What was the exact question?
Have you encountered any females as far as the toxic behavior, attitudes, whether it's dating, workplace, anything like that?
Of course, you already know. I always ask uncomfortable questions to people. I'm usually the one to light a fire. Most of the people like debating on my Facebook and stuff like that. So I deal with it on a day-to-day basis. Usually my counter to that one is usually trying to figure out ways to fix it in a sense of trying to give them some insight to saying, hey, you might see or view something as this. This is what a male's mindset would be. This is what somebody else on the outside source would be, male or female. They'll see the same situation as this is incorrect. And if majority of people see something is incorrect, then it might be something inside of you you might have to look at and say, hey, this is toxic behavior. I hear that all the time with not only my female friends of how they not just talk about other guys or anything like that, but even talking about their own husband in some cases, or boyfriend, or even friend in some cases, of how they talk on a day-to-day basis with them. And I'll be the one to usually put myself on the line of fire, be like, hey, it's a little toxic. Don't try to think like that. Or I understand what you mean, but you just said it in a way that can be perceived as toxic. 9 times out of 10, especially on my Facebook, it's comments that are generalizations, comments that my friends know that I'm probably going to comment on and say, hey, I understand. Like if somebody says bitches ain't shit or niggas ain't shit, I'm probably going to comment on that one. It's like, hey, the 4 or 5 people you mess with in your lifetime that did you wrong, I understand it as a problem. They did something to hurt you, most likely something toxic. But what you just said is perceived as generalization. That's a problem.
What about you, Hassan?
Well, we I've noticed that women always call us stupid, like, but they don't want us to be right for anything. And I believe that's a toxic thing. Like if we are right in certain, but probably the way that we say it is wrong. But we're right, and you know what I mean. But we're right. They won't let it us have that. Like even when I debate, if I debate a lot on my page and I debate on YouTube or whatever, and it's always the way that I say it is not the way that they want me to say it, so it ends up being wrong in their head. But no matter how I'm saying, even though I'm right, but it's still wrong to them, um, in certain aspects. And I mean, you I mean, I grew up with all women. Haven't really been any arguments I've won. It was a mom and three sisters and auntie and two of her daughters. This was all women. There was no argument that I won because it was just
You're
we
not gonna
couldn't
win
let
because
it.
you're outnumbered. So if it would have been more men,
It wouldn't even matter probably. The
you
women
don't
are
know.
hawks, but it was a that's how that dynamic is now. Like if a man says something and even though he's right, it's still really don't matter. It's still end up being a fucking argument. Um, and we still end up being stupid to them.
No, it's
So
kind of how you say it sometimes.
but we be right, but it's still stupid to y'all.
I mean, you can be right, but if you said it, it depends on how you say it.
Yeah, we had actually this conversation before with the way men think is usually more direct and logical, and the way
Versus
women think is
empathetic.
more complex, and I don't want to say emotional in a negative sense, but more emotion driven, understanding on what parts to say, what parts not to. We're more of that is blue. Women are more, they can see if that's an actual different shade. We will see that's blue.
Hey, listen, and then down here, like Letha, you said it's how you say it. Listen, you got women that you can't even speak and be nice to when them thinking they trying to holler at you. You say, "Hey, good morning," they boy, bye.
Right.
So,
I got a man. I didn't say that.
right. I
I
just
just
said
said,
hello,
hey.
good morning. So
And you got men who don't even call women women. You call them bitches and hoes. What's y'all
I
point?
don't know if a man just walking up to a random woman, "Hey, bitch." I don't know how true that is.
I can't say that.
That's some disrespectful
I see
men
it
out
all the
here.
time.
I'm from Milwaukee. I done heard it all.
Right.
Men ain't just gonna. I don't think
you
that.
get bitches and hoes. So it's not. I'm not saying that you going up to her and saying, "Oh, you're a bitch or a hoe." But if every time you say something and you're referring to women, you don't say women or females, you say bitches and hoes. Like that's the energy you're gonna receive back. That's facts.
Now I can definitely admit, like I seen,
So
of
it's
course,
like all
like
that other shit y'all talking about with all that, because I let y'all slide on the split. Y'all don't want to have some bills, but y'all can't put up ceiling fans. Y'all can't cut grass. Y'all motherfuckers can't.
Whoa.
You talking about the rough? See, those the men you messing with, cause Johnny Wolf raised this man to be right. I put your ceiling fan up. You better stop
you hear
playing.
me?
Don't talk about
Hold
You
on,
better cut that out.
hold
There's
on.
men out here
All right.
that do this. It's real men out here that do that. So y'all need to cut that out. Y'all just don't
Still
date
can't
them.
cut grass.
Y'all just don't
Hold on.
date
One at
them.
a
Y'all
time. One
don't
at a
date them.
time.
Y'all look at plumbers and all that like bums and all that, and y'all don't want to date them. That's what's wrong with y'all. That's what's
So
wrong with
I'm not
y'all.
gonna know. I'm the woman. No, I'm not splitting no bills with you. No, I'm not. Cause y'all ain't cooking and cleaning and taking care of babies.
Oh,
And we
so
are,
That's
and there's
true.
Yeah,
men
that's
out
what I
here
was
that's doing that
saying.
too. What is you saying?
And if you are doing
Oh
it,
God, there's men out there that's doing this.
So
You
I
just
don't.
not dating those type of men. Y'all like I said, y'all complain about
Well,
this type of stuff, but y'all
anybody
go and
know the
chase those
ratio as
type of
far as men
dudes.
to women in 2021 men to women? Y'all got more of the options.
shit. Use a lie. Hey,
So
hey,
where
how about this? Them
It's
famous
not because
twins.
y'all out here dating the same
if
type
you
of
rush
dudes. That's why
yourself
y'all
somewhere,
got more.
that's on
That's
you.
why it's more black women out here with kids than it is men than black men. Because y'all out here dating the same type of niggas. Y'all complain about the
Okay, the
Tyrones and the Ray
problem is
Rays,
why you
but
so
then
many
go
of those
chase right
niggas.
behind them niggas.
Talk
You
that
should
shit,
be
bro.
that type of niggas
Man,
to
cut it out, man. Y'all ain't going to chase no plumbers. Only time y'all want to go chase a IT man or a nerd or a geek is when y'all go chase them white dudes.
Talk
When you
that
Hey,
chase
shit.
a black
man,
man,
Talk
you try to
that
go
shit.
chase you a thug. You try to go chase a nigga. You don't
what's that
chase no
nigga
black
cash
man.
out? Goddamn it.
It's plenty of black men out here. It's
Get that
hella
nigga
black
off.
men out here. It's plenty of black men
Straight up.
in the heating and air industry,
I
trucking,
said, what's
plumbing,
the
all of
ratio
that, all of that. But
from
y'all
men
don't
to
want to
women?
chase those dudes. Y'all go try to chase the
No,
the
we shouldn't be
niggas
chasing
that
each
already
other.
got the
We
big
should be
dollars.
chasing
But they
girls.
not
So
looking
that's the
at y'all.
problem.
They just looking at y'all like meat. Instead of
That's what
y'all
I'm
want to go,
saying.
y'all want to chase the men that look at y'all like meat. But then Soon as y'all, once that man suck up all the life out of y'all, then that's when y'all want to come and run to the black man. And then when we
Oh
tell y'all,
God.
hell no, I don't want no woman with no kids. Better go
Uh,
find a daddy. Oh, for
Oh God.
real? You don't want
Nah,
to? Hell no.
hold on.
Get
I
your
personally
ass
don't need
on.
kids.
Because when
I
I ain't
personally
have
don't need
nothing, and when
kids.
I was
And when
getting
I
it,
say,
you ain't
and
want
when
to
I
be
say I
around
don't
a
want to
nigga.
date, and when I say I
Hold
don't want to date a man with kids, y'all will lose y'all fucking minds. So what you really talking about?
No, we won't. No, we won't. We won't.
Like fuck if you
We'll say,
will.
okay, we want to take
But
that
I
on
don't
the
know about
chin because
like
we're not
Brandon
that
said.
sensitive.
Like
Okay, you
Brandon
don't
said
want no
on his
man with no
Facebook,
kid.
on my
We accept y'all
Facebook,
preferences. We
as soon
accept
as
that.
I
Y'all
mention
don't
a
accept
man
our
being, as
preferences.
soon as I mention a
That's why we
man
having this conversation.
not doing
hold on.
I'm
Hold
certain
on.
pretty
things
sure.
in school, or when I mention a man not wanting to date a man without kids, it's that's your perspective, but my perspective, or that's my preference, and that's just it. It shouldn't be anything else. So when I say
And we
I don't want no
accept it.
regular ass nigga, or when I say I don't want no man with kids, or if I say I don't want no man that's working in the Nike warehouse, y'all gonna lose y'all mind.
But y'all
That
expect us to pick y'all up at the Nike warehouse. But y'all
Man,
expect us to pick up y'all up when y'all staying at your mammy house.
I might
Y'all
talk that
supposed to
shit,
expect
man.
us when y'all
Just
got 4, 5 kids. But when we
please,
Hold on.
accept y'all
G.
preferences, we accept that. But when we say we don't want the woman with
y'all
kids,
actually
we
don't,
don't want
because
no
I mean
fat
you don't
woman. We don't want no
accepting
skinny
is
with
just
oh
fucking on
you
somebody and
fat
moving out
shaming.
is not really accepting.
You your mama black. Your mama
Hold,
black.
hold on. So lethal. Do you agree with what he's saying in the sense of like when men have their preferences, it's not accepted by women?
No.
I don't see how it's
I
not
mean,
accepted.
like, how is it not accepted? My whole thing is, I think anytime men felt as if black women had an issue with it, it's when you disrespect black women or disrespect a certain race of women in the midst of trying to
But we
praise
don't.
another race of women.
Okay, I
So,
got some examples.
I
so
agree
when,
with
We
that.
don't, boy, we don't do that.
when we
Y'all
get
talking about a small percentage of black men who praise white women. Every black man, man, cut it out, man. I love
Oh,
black women. I don't even look at white women. But
I
y'all
don't
don't
okay.
chase dudes
It's
like
a lot
me.
of black
Y'all
men
go
that do
chase them
though.
dudes that be chasing white women. Y'all go chase the small percentage of
Mhm.
and
niggas and
y'all
sellouts.
y'all
Y'all
chase
go
women
chase
who don't
those.
want to fuck with you
I
when you ain't got
mean,
it. It's the same
I
thing.
mean,
I'd have had a woman told me she won't fuck with me because I like Star Trek and I'm single with no kids. I'm 35. You
Yeah,
know what I
hey,
mean?
Come on,
On
man.
my
And you can
life. You know
change
what
a
I mean?
woman's life.
You know what I mean?
you
And here
know,
I know Japanese. I could have taught your ass Japanese. You ever not fucking with me because I know I want to fuck with Star Trek. Get your ass up on out here then.
And he's, come on, man. Right.
I mean, you did just say you want to fuck with a dude because he work at the Nike factory. I
I won't.
mean,
And niggas
but
in
look,
Nike make a
but
lot
look
of
though.
money.
I know, but look how Michelle Obama did Barack. You feel me? Helped that man
Y'all
came
won't,
up.
I ain't right. Y'all won't
You know,
hold a nigga down, but would y'all expect us to hold y'all down? That's
Exactly.
crazy. That ain't that. And how does that help the black community? And black women, y'all been having the ball for a long time.
we should
Exactly.
have
Then you
never
Y'all
got to
ain't
think
had
about.
came back and helped the hood. Y'all ain't came
we
back.
should have never
But the
had the
truck
ball.
drivers and all the dudes y'all looking over, they parking they trucks in the hood. They parking they work vans in the hood. They coming back to the hood. Y'all go get these little educational jobs,
The
complain
same
about
way
the
that you
white
said
man, and then go move
black
right with
women
the
are
white
wrong
man.
for chasing the hood niggas, right? You just said they chase hood niggas all the
But I'm
time.
trying to fix this. I'm trying to fix these brothers. Y'all running away from these brothers. But at the same time, y'all chasing them because y'all want to get them,
Just like
control
y'all
them,
run
and try
away
to
from these
change them. And you
hoes
can't,
and
and
bitches.
y'all want to control them how y'all want to change them and control them. And y'all can't do that. Come back
Exactly.
to the hood and help these brothers, not try to put them in a
Down,
relationship and control them
man. Down
because
in
he
their
ain't
mind.
got nothing. And that's the only time y'all will really just fuck
Um,
with a nigga when he ain't got
actually,
nothing
black
and
women,
y'all can control them. And I
black
see this
women
daily.
actually
That's
help
toxic.
black
That's
men are leveling them up way more. So I don't
That's
know
But
a
what you're
that's
talking
a, that's a lie. That's a lie.
but
Cause it's a whole. If that's the case, it's more y'all out here, and I see a whole bunch of fucked up brothers out here.
it's
Just
more
saying,
black women than black men. That's what
it's
you
more
said.
it's more black women out here than it is black men. We getting locked up, killed, shot,
yep.
all kinds of shit. It's more y'all out here, and it's more y'all in better
It's way
positions
more
to
women
help
out
the
here.
black community. Look at
People
look
are
at look at the politics. We got a so-called black woman who says she ain't gonna do shit for black folks. Not I ain't gonna do nothing just for black folks, but she a black woman.
Exactly. I
You
mean,
got you got
thing. It's
no.
like y'all.
you said what?
Let me just say this.
It's a lot of finger points.
Since being here, I think only 1 or 2 men has said anything positive about black women. Period. And then I didn't even know it was black men versus black women. It should have been just men versus women, right?
I ain't talking about. I don't give a care about other people. I only care about the black woman because that's the woman I deal with. I don't care about no Asian one, and that's the problem with a lot of black folks too. We want to talk about everybody. Fuck everybody. Let's talk about us. Fuck everybody.
Hold on. Well, I say this. I say this.
I've been hearing like, man.
I say this because we black. I mean, it. If we talking about something that comes down, it eventually comes down to man and woman. We're going to talk about what we relate to and within our community. So, I mean, I guess that's
only deal with black women, man. So I can't talk about every other woman.
I'm just saying,
but damn about every other woman. But if I do care about every other woman, it's a problem. Oh, look at he chasing them white women. He chasing them Latino women.
Honestly, I would say don't none of y'all motherfuckers like black women. By being
I love black women. What you talking about? What are you saying? That's all I talk to.
Shit. For that
reason.
Mean,
I can't look. No, you can't love all of them because there is a difference between women, bitches, and hoes. Even women know that. Women know that, but what women problem is y'all befriend bitches and hoes and then try to protect them. And then when we call out bitches and hoes, y'all jump in front of the bullet and get hit by the bitch and hoe, get hit by the bitch and hoe bullet. Now y'all think we calling y'all bitches and hoes. Well, we not. We talking about those women we talking about. If y'all stop hanging around bitches and hoes, maybe y'all wouldn't get affected by it. And maybe if y'all stop calling each other bitches and hoes, maybe you won't get affected by it. Just saying.
So let me ask you, Lethal.
So men don't call each other bitches and hoes?
No, because we know the difference between a woman.
Wait, whoa! Do men say that to each other?
They do.
I wish they would say that to each other because that shit is kind of gay to me. That
I play online with majority 85%.
Do you call each other bitches and hoes?
Way more. If anything, women are on mute because they don't want to deal with going back and forth with it.
But wait, you talk about online and Call of Duty when they in the lobby talking about. We talk about niggas in the barbershop. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference.
I mean, I can't tell you what's happening in the barbershop. I don't go to barbershop.
I mean, what about the dude that work at the Nike factory though?
I wouldn't know nothing about him neither.
Exactly, but then look, but if he gets successful, that's gonna catch your eye.
Okay.
And then if he tell you, and then if he,
so any man I choose is going to be successful as well.
No, I don't get that concept. I'm just saying
okay. So if you hang around 4 losers, you be the fifth. So if you
I kind of feel that way.
Because I'm a winner.
I kind of feel that way as well. Like if I'm bringing home some filet mignon, I don't bring some plates, bitch. Bring some sides. That's all I'm asking. You know, I'm not saying, be rich, but also I'm out here saying I'm not trying to date no woman that work at Target. Nothing against them, but
we got somebody in the comments that said, and vice versa, no one wants a man who claims to be a man who's actually manipulating narcissists who still stand with his mama, and y'all wouldn't know a black woman if she walked up and slapped y'all. So I'll say this. Jay was gonna go. Go ahead, Jay.
Okay, so what about the black women that build up their man and they stick by their side, but then when a black man gets successful, he gonna give him a white woman or another race woman. That happens a lot.
They didn't hear me the first time.
Right? Who did that?
Who did that?
That's a small percent. That's a small, but you can say that about black women. They do it too.
Hold on.
You see, okay, man.
I don't think y'all did no research. Y'all done told me today that it's more black women than men. Y'all done told me today that it's a small percentage of black men that's dated like other races of women.
Yeah, okay, but listen though, Those sounded like NBA players or something.
It's the ratio from men
Right,
to
those.
men.
Those sound like the people that you just turned down at the Nike factory because he worked there. But in the meantime, he was working on playing basketball.
And that's my preference. The same way as a nigga ain't gonna want to fuck with no stripper bitch and then turn around here.
Shit.
You will.
These times of days are different. It's different.
Hey, that's on you, but that's my preference.
Yeah, that's her preference. If she
Shit,
wanted,
we
if
see
she
money
wanted to date a
there.
baller, man, let her date a baller.
He
I
ain't
will
got
say
it.
this.
Yeah, but y'all have to respect our preference too.
Exactly.
Y'all got the little ugly ass kids and run around, don't want to listen to a nigga and shit. You ain't my daddy.
But the thing
Respect
about
that.
ugly ass kids is if y'all would start actually help raise them instead of letting them be bastard
Oh, I'm finna get on
kids.
about that too because it's a lot of women that
Man.
be running their men away.
I swear
And
to
then
God.
lie and say your daddy ran off, he don't love us.
It make you run away from your ugly ass kid.
Huh.
As you
Yeah. Don't no man want to constantly keep dealing with that shit, man. Y'all don't understand that is stressful. I gotta constantly fight you. Man, my dad had guns pulled out on him trying to come and see me. You think my dad want to keep going through that? But hell no. I seen this. I've seen this shit. So no, it's not right for women to keep acting an ass because she fucked up the relationship and she knows she fucked it up. So she gonna keep acting emotional towards this man and she gonna use the child as a weapon. Come on, man, y'all know this stuff happen, and see
or what
if
about what
women,
about the
hold on,
what
listen,
about
if
situations where
if
the women
women
are
just fought
trying to
this
get
fight, men wouldn't have to say nothing.
So are you saying that doesn't happen either?
Wait, say again.
You ready to listen?
I'm listening.
So you're speaking as if the situation doesn't happen where women are trying to have men be active in their children's lives, but they still at the corner store and their kids waiting for them to pick them up.
Okay, and
It's
guess what?
in that situation. So what is you talking about? So
who told you knew that nigga was standing in front of the corner store before y'all had that baby, and that's y'all fault. If you can't feed the baby, then don't have the baby. If you can't feed y'all around here having unprotected sex, and then y'all have a baby in a fucked up situation. You knew that
It
nigga
takes
was
two people to
fucked
have
up.
a baby.
You knew he was fucked up.
And
You knew
know
he was
one
fucked
shit
up.
gonna get her pregnant.
You just exactly. I just said both of y'all fucked up. I didn't say she was fucked up. I didn't say he was fucked up. I said both of y'all fucked up.
Is y'all motherfuckers don't like to
Oh my
accept.
God, man, that is crazy. They don't want to listen. That is
You damn
crazy.
right, because y'all be
Y'all
making me listen to
crazy. I just said both of y'all fucked up.
something that makes
And that's
sense.
wrong. And it's wrong. Women don't want to take they fuck up. Y'all around here fucking with thugs and drug dealers, and when they get locked up, these niggas ain't shit. These niggas ain't shit. These niggas ain't shit when y'all fuck with these drug dealers and stuff. And then blame all black men as if we drug dealers. And then y'all get mad when we blame y'all as if all y'all is just fucked up. If we just shut the fuck up and women just tell women, look, y'all need to stop fucking over these men. And if men say stop fucking over these women, it'll be cool. Men wouldn't have to complain about women, and women wouldn't have to complain about the man.
You're right.
That's how you kill that. But
Men
that's not
stop actually going after women that has the body type or the look that he wants instead of dating a woman that actually fit and meet his criteria, or he fucks around and get this stripper bitch pregnant and now he want to run on Facebook and cry about how he on child support. You're right.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
Let me say,
all right then. So we sit here fighting and
hold on.
It's not worth it.
I'm saying don't say on one situation and saying it's happening.
I'm gonna get a whistle
because it's not the same thing that you can say about black women. It can be said about y'all too. So
okay, then. So all right, but y'all are the ones that starting these fights. Y'all starting these fights. It's not us. We trying to fix the shit.
Ding,
y'all
ding.
the ones that these niggas ain't shit.
Ding, ding.
These
ding,
niggas
ding.
ain't shit.
Hold on, y'all. Ding, ding. Go to your corners. Go to your corners. Go to your corners. Hold on.
this point, I think y'all want us to start proposing, opening doors for y'all motherfuckers.
We don't. We just want y'all to stay in y'all goddamn lane and do y'all role and stop complaining about y'all role and stop trying to do the man role.
This is a dirty
Stop trying to
fight.
be the man and the woman of the relationship. Just be the woman. Do your role.
I ain't gonna. Hold on.
Take care of the kids. Clean up the house. Do that bill with a nigga. See, y'all just want shit just right off the bat. Soon as we get in a relationship, pay my bills, nigga. Like
break the ass kids that you mentioned.
Hey, y'all, break it up. Hold on.
Make sense.
We got some smoke for funk. Somebody said, I guess Letha's doing it. She said, "Preach, lady. His debate is only on men being better than women now. What's the point?"
And hopefully, when y'all see the recording,
it's not about that. I never said that the woman. Not one time did I say that the black man was better than the black woman. So where is you getting that from?
In so many words.
Just like y'all only bring up the fucked up black men, but when I bring up the good black men, it's a goddamn problem. Now I'm trying to say that black men is better than black women.
The way you speaking,
that's crazy as hell, man. And like now, when I time I say something, she say something, but I listen to her. She can't even listen to what her brother say. See what I'm saying? There's no respect for the black man. But if I was a white dude, I bet she'll be quiet as a church mouse, though.
No, it's sad because it's certain black women that don't date nothing but black men. So
okay, and it's vice versa. It ain't nothing but black men that's out here dating black women like me. But you just said I don't think you like black women. Why you don't think that? Because I tell her about her goddamn self. You goddamn right. I'm gonna keep telling the black woman about herself.
White women. So what the fuck is you talking about?
Okay, and it's black women out here dating white men. They all out here swirling like a motherfucker, making Facebook groups. Run your white man all over Facebook. Look at my Brad. Look at my Brad. Then when the black man say, "Look at my Becky,"
hold on, one at a time.
It's a problem, man. Come on, man. Cut it out. Y'all like to throw rocks on hide y'all hand.
Y'all don't want to do shit. Y'all can't do shit, but you want motherfuckers to be submissive to you. While you stay at your mama's house and got 6 damn babies and 15 different babies.
I ain't got no babies. And statistically, the black man ain't got that many kids. It's y'all.
But you done got
it's y'all. It ain't me. It's y'all. Y'all the ones raising the illegitimate kids in the hood and then ran the daddy away. They get mad at a nigga.
Hold on. Savage been trying to say something for the longest time. Hold up.
Oh man, go ahead, Brad.
I guess black men don't date outside their race, and all they do is just run after us all damn day.
So hold on.
I guess the black women doing the same thing.
Hold up. Mute both of y'all.
Okay.
So off of the beginning of this conversation, we were talking about toxicity.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting enough, Fawn started this conversation saying that he doesn't believe in it, and instantly understood what was that female and male toxicity. So he understood that one. Letha's also explaining off of what her viewpoint is for male toxicity. Y'all are both right. There were parts of y'all were wrong on, of course, because of either emotion or just not understanding the information. Perfectly fine from that one. I can already throw statistics out there. I can say statistics like 80, I think it's for marriages for black men, 85% of them are married to black women. But the outlier percentage that you're talking about is the ones that would date outside the race, doesn't want to date within the race, blah, 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 blah. So they were still right on that one, as I think.
What's the ratio for black women and black men, or marrying black men?
I mean, that's the same percentage. If black men, 85% are black women, that means the reverse is the same. So yes, or let me say it that way: 85% of women, 85% of black women that are married to a black man. They have a husband. Perfectly fine. So y'all talk about the outliers from that one, and I don't disagree with y'all talking about the outliers from, but I do want to preference the conversations that we was having from off the toxicity. One of the main things for each of those is listening to each other off points wise. I understand how both of y'all are seeing different viewpoints. If she makes a prominent fact about there's a certain percentage of black men doing this, the other side should be able to say, okay, yeah, that's fine. Because there are black men who do negative things. But off that same flip side, if it's something of black women's viewpoint is changing now to go from instead of helping for family, it's starting to go for self, which that is true off of this, especially with this day and age. That's just with women in general right now. Again, still fine because there's more now focusing on self instead of others from. That's still fine of a logic sense and what is happening, but that is a change from what it was in the past. That's fine. We talked about for gender roles, which now are becoming gray lines in areas because we said if the mentality is you want a old school man or a woman, but then have the new school mindset yourself, it's not going to work. If it's a woman, she can't say, I want a man to pay all the bills, and then her not understand how to cater to him and his particular needs. It might be to cook and clean and stay at the house and watch kids. It might not be. It might be save your money, understand you're the one who's paying for trips or whatever. Vice versa. If a woman's stating that up of preference wise, yes, I would rather have my man do this or do that, do this, perfectly fine. Again, still able to have preferences. The logic from that one, and I believe what Funk was saying, was the fact that if that preference isn't met, and I actually asked this question to a lot of women and men, that if you have your top 10 things and your mate don't have 2 of them, no matter what your number is, so they don't have number 1 and number 9, would you still date them? The actual honest answer is, especially with nowadays, is no. They're trying to look for the one that have 90 or 100% of their checklist. That's fine. But then they do miss out on a lot of other particular opportunities and probably happiness from that as well. And again, both male and female.
So, Brandon, I got a question because you
What's
just
that?
said if a woman wants a man to take care of all the bills, she has to do certain things to be able to take care of him. Now, what was the flip side of that you said as far as men? Because you said
off the same thing. If there is a man that has a particular preference for a woman or a set quote unquote guidelines for a woman from that one,
like splitting bills, then he should understand that he will also have to cook, clean, do laundry.
Right. He has to understand. It's more of understanding value now for man and woman. If you don't pay all the bills and you pay half of that one, find your nicks and find the things that you can do to contribute to the situation. Perfectly fine. If both of y'all can't cook, both of y'all can't have an understanding that the other one has to cook.
But ain't this how black households been ran for a long time now? Everybody going half and half. Because I know my grandparents, they go half and half. They cook, they clean the house together. And I'm pretty sure right. So where is this where is this coming from in the black community where you gotta pay all the bills? Like we wouldn't have survived if we wouldn't have survived if that was the deal in the black community.
All them damn rappers and them niggas online chasing clout.
She stay in her role and cook and clean, and then turn around and say, "Y'all both do it equally." Which one is it?
Shit, we ain't trying to be in slavery.
Okay, if y'all want us to take care of all the bills, then play y'all role. Then just do y'all role.
No, because it's almost like y'all trying to pick and choose which of the old times you keep.
We not picking and choosing. We just saying. All we saying is
you don't want her to say certain things back to you. You don't want her to. You want her to stay on her role, cook and clean. But that's what you want from back in the day. But what you don't want is to take care of her 100% financially. That's the part you want to leave out. You can't do it.
No, that's not. That's what you getting. That's what you getting. What we saying is, if y'all want us to pay,
I got you. I got you on this one. For lethal off that one. If you're saying that, can you say the opposite? That there are women that are wanting a man to pay for everything, but then not want to contribute.
Yes,
Can you
but
say
you
that?
already touched on the effect, Brandon. That's what I'm saying. Y'all are not giving more of you're giving it basically 85% from a man's perspective. That's why at first, initially, I didn't say shit. But I'm not gonna just let y'all bash women as if the shit y'all ain't saying. It's both sides.
Hold on.
I've said since being here, I've given negatives and positives on both aspects. Even when I spoke on toxic females in the workplace, whether she was being very much toxic, more so than a man, vice versa. However, when it comes to y'all, I'm not hearing too many of y'all saying anything positive about a black woman. So it's like if you don't have anything positive to say, why are y'all still with black women?
Let me say this.
We
I
have
think.
said positive things about black women.
The only thing
Hold
you
on,
It's
said
just
hold
is
on,
that we
hold on.
was arguing over each other for you to hear it. Like,
Hold on.
Dr. Kevin.
we,
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. So I say this. It's like this, Lethal. If you I think when men talk and it's like you in a form where they're kind of airing their grievances, it can kind of sound like an attack. And I think for the longest time, in a lot of ways, through media and to pretty much anywhere, you had that for black men, and black men couldn't really say shit or didn't say shit. So I think that's what you kind of getting at when you saying you're not hearing anything positive. It's just kind of like that. Like
Let me ask you a question. How many questions have you asked as far as feminine positivity versus just the toxic part from a woman's perspective? I know you can't give a woman's perspective because you're not a woman, but as far as the questions of it, because most of the questions you've been asking has been for men. Oh, have you seen women be more toxic in a warehouse or in a workspace, or have you seen women have more attitudes at work? Like, ain't nobody trying to constantly hear this shit.
But he also, to
From
his
both
defense,
sides, like there has to be a balance, and then you got to also understand, shit, it's two women on the podcast versus how many men.
but
It has to be
I
some type of
understand that.
balance. So
I agree.
it's almost it's like no. So if I have to curse and yell and string to the top of my lungs for it to be some type of fucking leveled ground instead is to avoid us from bashing women, then so be it.
So with
now you
that,
see how you just had the flow,
and with
Sweet
that right
Wilson?
there,
For
here's
one,
also
thank
here's
you. I
also
appreciate
here's also another negative from that one. If you're stating that we bash women, you also have to remember off the start of this conversation from even what you just said, we also talked about bashing men when it came to the hierarchy of how they're not, or
yeah,
how
we asked
they're
it at the
having
beginning.
sexual assault and
Right.
sexual issues of how that's waived. We also brought up things when it came for the paid.
Wait. You said y'all
Paid.
brought a what? Y'all
We
brought a
brought up
what?
we brought up men talking about
Then
toxic men's trait, about sexual harassment. We brought up the wage gap.
who
It
spoke
was a
about
very
sexual
huge.
harassment outside of me, as far as men perspective?
Say it again.
Who brought up men as far as sexual harassment outside of me? Who
I
else?
did that. I asked that question.
About to say Savage. Hassan also brought up
But I'm
the pay
saying,
gap
like,
from women's point of view, even though he's a man. Like that. That's where up the difference was. There was a good point of the conversation where it was a literal men and women, not just men or not just women. Again, talking about toxic traits of both. I mean, we even started off by stating that one by saying, yeah, we see both of their toxicity.
Right.
Do we believe that's everybody? No. Do we believe that's every black person? No. But we do
No.
see in society that there are a lot of people there is having this misrepresentation of femininity, and there's a lot of people that have a misrepresentation of masculinity, and they're seeing the toxic part of that one, and now aligning it with everything. Just because you believe a woman should have equal pay, then we're looking at you and be like, oh, you're a feminist. No, I'm a logic person. If somebody has the same resume that I do, black, white, male, female, doesn't matter, they should be getting paid the same exactly amount. Which, again, we had a conversation about. Even Savage disagreed with that one. And we even.
I mentioned one male did speak positive, Brian. If you didn't hear me, I said outside of one male that I've heard speak more positive than negative.
More positive about men or women or the topic at hand. That's what I'm asking.
Nice women in certain situations because I think a lot of the topics we've discussed so far has been more so what women been doing opposed to what men has been doing.
Oh, if that's the case, if that's how we feel, we can have a whole segment on toxic masculinity of how we can not only see that one
No, we
but
don't
to
have to.
improve from it.
I'm
I'm
just
happy
letting
with
you know
that part.
the imbalance of it.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was. That was the point of the first question. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you believe it exists, and have you seen examples of it? Like, and I was just kind of giving the floor and just hearing, putting in there from my notes as far as what people have been saying on both sides, and if you've seen it. So even the masculinity side, I put that out there. I was just specifically, how males used to do it back in the days with old style relationships from the sports and as far as building up the job world, as far as the wage gap and all that. And
Oh,
I'll just
I
go
got
ahead.
I got something for you as well because in the chat there's actually a question from Miss Jazzy on that one. Um, this is my personal belief. This is not anybody else's on this panel's belief on this one. When it comes to role, well, I know some more people think like this, but when it comes to quote unquote personal roles and gender roles, I hate hearing it only because it's not a defiant thing. Um, of course, as I stated before, I have my mother and my father both in my life. I know how to cook, I know how to clean, I know how to build, but I also have other what some people might would call feminine traits of understanding, being able to communicate better, listening to people, blah blah blah. I don't see the roles when it comes to that one because they're all personal defiant things. So, do I believe a woman can take out the trash? Yes. Do I believe a woman can pay bills? Yes. Do I believe a woman can cook and clean? Yes. Doesn't matter from that one. As long as they're personally done on both sides, it doesn't matter. But they have to figure out that one. Personally, my girl doesn't like cooking. Perfectly fine. I can cook. I step up in a role and got even better at it, but I can cook. That's fine. She can balance money better than I can.
You can cook,
Perfectly
right?
fine.
Right.
So let me say, Jay, what do you think?
Team. It's a team.
Yeah.
It's a team, but that's not the case in a lot of
What
what
I think about the
in a lot of
Like what Lethal was going into, like the balance of things so far in the conversation.
I mean, I think since it's more men in their opinions, they can kind of outshine us. It's just two of us, and it just seemed like it was just all about women and what women does wrong, and not that much about men. Not saying it, nothing negative was said about men, but it's not a lot. Like
Okay, so
that,
it's all more welcome to open up. The floor is like as far as anything examples of toxic masculinity that you guys have seen, men too.
Or asking questions as well.
Right.
Honestly, in my personal opinion, I think that there's more toxic masculinity shown daily than toxic femininity. My
Yeah,
personal opinion.
I disagree with
I
that
mean,
though.
I agree with that.
well,
Actually,
we
let's
out here
think about
trying to defend ourselves.
wait. Get this. I feel you, but I mean, when you got a whole we talking about all men. We're not just talking about black men. I mean, we got these motherfuckers out here with straight pride. You know what I mean? And this whole super straight movement and all this other things that they're dealing with on this whole other spectrum that y'all may not even be even paying attention to because you're on some real shit.
See, I know
When you
about the
not,
super straight shit.
yeah, oh, yeah.
Don't
That shit is
don't shake your
stupid.
head,
Like
Lethal.
the shit is stupid, man.
I
Like
feel
this
you. I
shit is
feel you, my dude.
stupid.
But I feel you. But
But it's
millions and
coming
millions.
from but
But
that came from the feminist movement. That's their response to the feminist movement.
Let this
That's
man speak. What was you saying, sir?
huh?
Hassan,
I
go
was,
ahead.
she's
Oh
talking
I
to
yeah.
me.
Oh no. But what I'm saying is like if I mean we see a lot of it. I mean, and let's be real. Like when it comes down to homophobia, men are. I mean, you see it all day, bro. They can't let these people live. um, we we see it all day. I mean, because the way we used to talk, when I was growing up, everything was gay. Shit was gay. I mean, I used to call, I won't say it now, but I used to call my homeboys faggots, just stuff like that. Growing up as kids, like that was just how it was. But the thing is, we weren't even paying attention how that makes somebody else feel as a human being. Like how am I up here going to sit there and call somebody a faggot, knowing that's a derogatory term towards this person? Where now we up here complaining about white folks calling us nigga. You see what I'm saying? So how can I sit up here and not pay attention? How can I not pay attention to these people? You know, some of the best people I've known in my life were gay. I real spit. My uncle, one of the best humans I ever known in my life. He will die for any one of y'all.
All right, regardless.
Right, regardless, because you are a human. Now he taught me humanity, whereas another one of my grow up. He taught me, hardcore. This is how niggas do it. Do you see what I'm saying? So, the, when we look at society and how growing up, like even if you look at the parenting, when it comes down to this is how real man's supposed to do it. Look at how our parents were. My mom used to whoop my ass, right? Okay, well, just think about how our parents used to whoop their ass. The parents, their men, how that shit was basically beat into them, and they shit try to beat into us, and then and it's a if you look at it as a whole, even with the laws that are being created, these old white men get in the fucking room and they dictate what women can do with their goddamn bodies. So when we want to talk about what's
I wasn't even
true
going to get
toxic,
politically, but you got it.
when we talk about true toxic masculinity, they create laws that stop women from doing shit. So when we look at it, man, like in femininity, it comes because you hold them down for so long. Of course, they're gonna burn some motherfucking bras. Fuck you, nigga. That's how they feel. I feel that. I get it because you can't sit there and subjugate a human being for being a person. We already take their fucking money. We take their pride,
Out.
huh? So we got to understand.
Getting too happy over there, Lito. Finna come in with the smoke.
But we have we also have to understand the other side.
Right, man. I'm like, wait, when has
we have to understand the other side of it. I'm not saying that.
I just want to know. All right, so where
Go ahead, bro.
I just like all right, these old white men we talking about. All right, they're sitting around telling women that they can't. This trying to control women as far as how they dress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they create laws for that shit.
What do you mean by that?
Well, no. Okay,
like,
so literally they create laws.
Like,
okay, well let's say. Do you remember that there was an actual law? They literally just passed a law that allow women to wear their hair the way they can in the workplace, dress the way that they can in the workplace. It's just women.
Disproportionately targeting black women.
Yeah, even okay, you can
asses and we can wear loose fitting clothes, but because it shows curves.
Right. You had teachers actually losing their jobs just by the way they dressed because they had hips. These are black women. They don't do this to white women. You have to,
they can't do it to white women. They ain't got no ass.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They ain't got no ass.
Oh my god.
What can I do with it? No, I'm just playing. I know it's white women out here with ass. I'm just playing. But
I
get that. Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, they deal with a lot, bro.
That's why I said, like, I'm not saying
and
that
this all boils down to this, man.
Doesn't exist.
Hold on. Let Lee throw.
Go ahead, Lee.
No, I didn't say like women being toxic like doesn't exist. It does, but if you like Google what it is, men got the stride. Like y'all nip that one in the gut, like because this y'all do toxic shit from every aspect of life.
See,
but what I will say, in my opinion.
When
it comes to
y'all say toxic, which
toxic, it's more so towards women. Women are more so toxic towards each other. Like we said, you
Oh
know,
man.
like we talked about earlier. However, with y'all, it's
Oh man.
it's
Nah,
a lot
Savage.
more.
Nah,
Oh
because this
man.
is exactly what I said
Uh
before.
uh.
This is what I said only a couple episodes ago.
Let
That
me
when it comes
go.
to toxicity,
Let me go.
when it comes to male toxicity, we have a uh, more issues when it comes to we are hurting society. When it comes to female toxicity, there's more issues hurting themselves.
themselves.
Worse.
Yeah.
Now, Savage, you have the floor.
Okay. So it's like I think y'all looking at just I know like Funk asked question, what is toxic? I think a lot of things to where you can almost look at certain advantages the either side has over the other, right? So when they have like when women have the leg up in certain things like the courts, the eye of the media, pretty much societal norm as far as looking at situations with domestic violence, with pretty much crime, rape, all that stuff. The women have that advantage. Is that fair to say?
No,
That's fair to say.
How is that
That is
not
That's
legal?
fair.
fair to say.
That's
Yes.
fair.
Right,
That is
legal.
fair.
Come on. How is that not? Please tell me, tell me, tell
In,
me.
in
How is that
divorce
not?
course, divorce course, men always
I'm
get
gonna
the
say, I'm
blame.
gonna tell you why.
I'm come on.
It's a lot of situations where, okay, so like you just pertain to what you just said. Y'all do that shit to each other.
What?
I'm
What are
just
you
saying.
talking about?
Yes,
No, we don't. In the courts with child support or divorce, is that something that we doing to
okay,
each other?
now I'm gonna give you that one. Child
Okay.
support, the way it's created, I don't necessarily agree with it all the time. However, you have to understand that the reason why the court side more so with the women is because of the history of men leaving their families or leaving their children and not wanting to deal with certain things. That's why you get put on child support.
I would definitely say it started off with
No,
that,
It's
but I
not
think
that
it's
a,
many,
more.
a lot of it started off about men dying at war,
it's not that many
and
cases of the man taking the kid. It's not that many. It was way more women cases because, like y'all said, men were more so working, women were more so at home.
Okay.
Now, do I believe they should
right,
change?
and government
Yeah.
benefits came when the man died at war or on the job or fucked himself up. Now it's just a whole different system of women just fucking over men.
Yeah, like some use it.
Why you not looking at it from this perspective of men are fucking off themselves when you have unprotected sex with so many different women,
Wow. So why do we always
or
blame the man in that aspect of sex? Why we can't blame the woman? It take two to
I
tango.
literally just
Somebody
gave
should have
you
said, "Hey,
the
let's
opposite of
introduce a condom." Like, why we always gotta blame the man? You stuck your dick in her and you nutted in her, and now they got like, come on, man. It take two people to make a baby, and we gotta
Shit.
stop blaming just men. And that's
You're
why
not
I
just
and see
blaming
when
men.
y'all
I
just
just gave
blame.
you another perspective as far as the man because you just spoke on the woman.
You can go get a plan B.
Right, like y'all got
Hold on.
options. Like a man can say, "I don't want to have a baby," and
Hold
then
on.
the woman have a baby, and then now the dude get put on child
The
support.
woman have the baby without the man, like you just said, because it takes two. So
Yes,
why
it
you
take two. Now, if the man say, "Hey, I don't want to have a baby,"
then you shouldn't have had sex
th-
wrong. So
okay,
why is it
okay. So
only
when
looking
it did,
from the
oh, thank
perspective
you.
that
We shouldn't have
men
had sex raw. So why didn't nobody introduce a condom? When the baby come into play, it's always on the man. You should have
Mm-hmm.
pulled
Ho-
out. You
ho-
should have did this. You should have did
Mm-hmm.
that. Well, what about the woman? What she should have did?
I
What
Hold
know.
she
on.
should
Hold
have
on.
did? You see
Hold
what
on.
I'm saying? Like but again, every time women bash men and then a man try to defend himself, you always talking down on women. You always bashing women.
Mm-hmm.
because you jumped right directly into females perspective, like to bash her, and that's why I told you the
We not bashing. I'm just asking. Put the shoe on the
I'm
other
not gonna
foot.
say
What
I'm just
what
gonna
could
say
the woman have done? We always talk about what the man could have done.
not let that nigga from Amazon warehouse have sex with her unprotected. That's what she
It
should.
ain't just niggas in the warehouse. It's
You know what I mean?
This shit is happening through all spectrums of the classes in America, from high,
I know.
middle, and
Yeah,
low class. This is
Now
happening.
we
she
talking
just
about
used it as an
broad
example,
perspective.
Funk. Yeah, she just used it as an example, but I see what she did go to the start of it. But we all know realistically people are gonna fuck. It is what it is. So I think as far as what I look at as far as the advantage for women have in the court system is those to the courts, even to sex after sex. Women have options, men don't. Now that's just fact. Men, when if you have sex with a woman, she gets pregnant, you're screwed because you have no say so in where it goes from there. Women have several options along the way.
Because
From point,
you gotta
go
carry
ahead.
the baby.
I mean,
If y'all carry the babies, it'll be the opposite. You know what I'm saying?
is that the only saving grace
That's
though?
not nah. That's not the only.
Do
That,
they have to
nah,
only
it
be the
ain't just
saving
because
grace
y'all
though to
carrying the
not be
baby.
responsible?
Because they population.
Right. Look at a lot of our young men out here today, man. A lot of these women that ran their daddies off, right? Can we agree with that? And then a lot of these dudes wanted to be in their sons' lives. And they wasn't given the opportunity to do that. And now they sons out here fucking the neighborhood up.
Okay,
So
so
who's the
now what about
and
the
then
women
now and
who
then you got the
tried to
dudes who
allow
don't
them
want to
to
be
be
in their
like
children's
the
life.
don't? That's
So
why. So every time you give a perspective from just a man's point of view, I'm going to give the woman's point of view. So what about the women who actually try to force the guy into being in their child's life, but they just don't?
and I just
What's
said that,
up
and
with
there's
you
dudes out here who don't want to take care. You see, y'all don't be listening when the man put blame on the man. Y'all only hear when the man says something about the
You
woman.
black
I've
bitch.
said something about the black man plenty of times tonight, but you didn't hear that because you kept talking over me because
What's the
I
last
said
thing
something
you
about the
said
woman.
about
Then when I tried to say something
what's
about the
the last
man, you didn't hear that because you wanted. But every time you talk, I
what's the
give you the
last
flow.
negative you said about black women?
Like I just said, it's niggas out here who don't want to take care of their kids. So what is the solution of women fucking over men and men fucking over the women? What is the solution to that? We keep
I can
arguing
answer
about
that.
that shit, but we ain't coming up with no solutions.
I can
And
answer
that's what
that.
I'm about. I'm tired of arguing with black women about this shit about the community. Like, what we gonna do?
Go ahead, Brent.
Start rebuilding the mindset when it comes to uh, not only black excellence, black wealth, but black families. There's actually a comment that was actually made that I kind of want to even state on that one from Jazzy to say that one. There has been a unfortunate government policies that's even been pushed. To even get back to toxic masculinity, but there's been pushed for trying to destroy black men and black women, or just say black excellence in that sense, but black relationships and a lot more things. We were just talking about for childcare has been able to go from one thing of one of the men going to war and a woman that unfortunately have to take care of the child to actually have government assistance to now that being weaponized on both ends. There are men who put women on child support, men or women that put men on child support. Of course, since the courts wise, there has been more women to put men on child support for various different reasons. But there needs to be a resurgence of understanding when it comes to our kids or our lifestyles to say, hey, we don't need to have sex, have a child, and lead on either side. We need to both understand that we are now really no longer themselves. Now they have to hold on to another life form to actually raise up. So from there, yes, I do understand of both sides of hearing it.
So let me say
But
this. Let me ask you a question, Lethal. Like, as far as the courts, going back on the courts, and then even afterwards, we had a conversation. Like I had to talk with Jay. Like, if there was a law that we could make to where we could just make the system a little bit even, not even give the advantage to the other way, but a little bit even, that some women would lose their minds over it. Like, for example, if you had something written into law that said, okay, men can sign something just like how the woman can have a physical abortion, that men can sign something to have like a financial abortion. Women would lose their mind. What you think?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, you don't agree with nothing.
No, I'm gonna say
Uh,
I can only give you from my perspective. I'm gonna tell you why. Like
mhm.
majority of my female friends make more money. I can't like I don't hang around females that like use men for money, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So they don't get
Okay.
their own. Like I got my own. You see what I'm saying? So I've dated men who made more money than me. I've dated majority of the men that I've dated has always made less money than me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't if they lose their mind, that's on them. But I know I wouldn't because I can take care of myself or I take care of myself.
No Nike warehouse men, huh?
No.
Uh,
Even though I
Actually, it probably wouldn't be on that one.
right.
If me knowing Lethal, and of course, outside of this, is being on Facebook, and even when we're gaming, a lot of men that either want to talk to her or try to talk to her are actually more intimidated by her, not just because she's loud and crazy, but because she does have a different way of articulating ways, because she doesn't have a viewpoint of saying I have to do this or I have to do that.
Let me see.
She, along with a lot of other women that I know, and even
because
with men as well.
because Brittany, me, I'm a homeowner. I work from home. That's my choice. Both jobs, government as well. Because I can put up my own ceiling fan because I'm remodeling my own house. Because even the men that I date, I don't even ask them to unless they offer. Because at the end of the day, I try as best as I can to see both perspectives. But when you come at me a certain way and you get it, I'm not going to abide by the, oh, you're a woman, you should just shut the fuck up. That's why I'm mostly toxic, because I'm not going to shut the fuck up.
Let me see, Jay. What you think?
You can only do so much to a woman who has her own. That's why a lot of men prefer women who don't. But at the same time, you got most men who complain about you got men who talk about their women being too successful or too educated. She should be cooking instead of going to college. She should be having babies and taking care of home instead. But then you got the niggas who say, "Oh, you too uppity. Your standards too high."
Hold on. What you think, Jake?
What I think about what she's saying, or
Well, yeah, and just kind of like, yeah. Well, yeah. Go ahead to what she just said.
well, as far as to what you said, as far as if there was to like come in law where a man is able to, sign his rights over or say he don't want to be involved in the child life. I mean, me personally, I don't think that he should be able to do that if he helped make the baby. But I also don't think that she should have it out either. I feel like consequences. I mean, they lay it down and made the baby. They have to take care of it. That's just my opinion, though.
But we got to remember why, though. So, the way that like child support or I guess assistance happened is because women were not working and staying at home to take care of home. How she's going to provide when her husband leaves or dies or just decides he don't want to be there anymore? You know what I'm saying?
It was created off of that because the men were going to war.
Why should men have the option to sign their rights away?
You said why should they?
Right.
I mean, because it's only I look at it like in just the name of fairness. Like I agree with Jay in the sense of saying.
So that answers our question. So that's what I was getting to. Y'all asked me earlier. Oh well, what do we get it from if we can't even give her if we can't say that you should get an abortion even though we said we ain't ready for no kids because you can sign your rights away. That's the pro and con.
No, I'm just saying like in the sense of fairness. I look at things simple. If like what Jay said, no one should no one has an out or we all have outs. You see what I'm saying? Like that. That's how I look at it. Clean cut.
So we don't have we both like men and women don't have outs as far as pertaining to like a baby.
Yes, either no one has an out or we both have outs.
Savage, are you saying that the out is about for abortion?
The out is where women have several different flavors of out. So they got adoption, abortion, war to state. I mean, Plan B.
Baby, though. That's what I'm saying. So it's like first you say, oh, you want it should be we should have either in or out. But I told you both parties do have outs. Now it's the sense of how many outs it is.
Men don't have an out. Once you have sex with a
Yeah.
man,
Only outs men got is what?
lethal.
Snipping his
Hold
nuts
on,
and
hold on,
condoms.
hold on. Lethal. If you have sex with a man, he impregnates you. From that, he's screwed. It's your decision solely whether you want to keep it, and you can get rid of it for any superficial
He
reason.
can find his rights away, or
That don't mean nothing. You can still come out to him for child support. That don't mean nothing.
they can do that.
Yes, they can. I promise you that I've seen.
I just found that out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can.
They get paid for that. They want this shit. They want it. They want this.
Hold on. What you was saying, Lethal?
That's why they pushing single motherhood left and right.
Hold on. What you about to say?
And then guess who's doing it though? The white man. The white man, because it's feeding to the man. That's why I said, from my perspective, I feel like it's more masculine toxicity than feminine. Do you see what I'm saying?
I see where you're going with it.
I think we all agreed on that one because we all even said when it just came for abortion wise, we have men stating for abortion for women's bodies of making it legal or illegal, which I believe majority of us on the panel believe that shouldn't really be not only something that we should be talking about, that should be something that we'll start bringing to the table and asking women for. Should it be legal? Should it be illegal? And stuff like that. I don't believe it should be a man's choice to say, oh, okay, in this state, you can't have an abortion because of my personal belief of Christianity viewpoints of saying women needs to have, like, that logic doesn't work.
But we can agree. Like, I see where she went with that. Like, you know, men has made the laws pretty much. But like you say, the white man. But as black people, we know black people are using this system. So we in the vein of with using this system. Yes, that's why I said black people. That's why I said black people. Mm-hmm. So in the vein of using this system, if we're going to be a part of it, we live in America, we use this system. We can't call for things to be on a more even ground. Is that so wrong to ask?
No.
Yeah, because it's like, that's what I'm saying though. But you have, okay, just going down to the lower level from the white man, that's the toxicity. Because if you did make that something like that, even for men, women would be mad. The woman who want to use that system, I'll even say it today, the ones who want to use that system, they will be pissed off because they don't have that power over men.
Yes, because when you try to even edit those particular ideas, I believe not too long ago, a couple years ago, there was a push for a change in the amendment for child support that they was trying to come up with these quote unquote baby mama cards or credit cards that only specifically could be paid for anything involved for kids. And it was a mass amount of people that said no. If whatever money that is given for whatever party should be able to use for anything that they're able to give to. But other parties were saying, well, if I give you $1,000 for the child, it should go to the child, not your bills, not your night out or anything like that. And I say, again, people, because even men were doing the same thing of quote unquote trashing the baby's funds to do something else. But that was also pushed by men, not in association with women.
Right.
So even when they try to change it, it's still not coming up. They're still not letting women come to the forefront and say, okay, how can we fix this system? Because the system shouldn't be for men or women in the sense of saying, how can we provide all your needs without the other person? It should be, if you're in a situation where you have to have government assistance, that you are not in a negative situation where somebody else have a two-parent home. That's what it should be. And as you just said, equal, but we're never going to get to that particular point of equality when it comes to something like that.
Because the men who make the laws, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. Until there is a mass understanding of how we can move forward.
That's not going to happen.
Right, exactly. That's what I said. Until we have that understanding of how can one party, male or female, whoever's raising the child at that point, being a single father or a single mother, could benefit more off of being a single parent instead of being a co-parent or being, of course, married or anything like that, then well, a lot of people see it as an incentive, and that's a very big problem when it comes to almost everybody, but it's a very big problem when it comes to the African American community.
This need to be an evolution of how we treat each other in relationships. Just need
Yeah.
to be evolved
Yep.
because there's no evolution. Motherfuckers still want it to be the same. Like nobody even wants to even learn how to change. Yeah, nobody meditate with each other. Like there's no change
Facts.
or trying to, you know. There's always one person saying I'm gonna change, right? When if you think about an argument, just think about past relationships. There's always one person. Look, I'm gonna change this, I'm gonna change that, but nobody, the other side of them will look at what they need to change in themselves. And
Right.
again, like, honestly, these I'll go back to the law since 1971, since Nixon created the first crime bill, not the crime bill, but the war on drugs.
Yeah.
Like we've lost an entire generation of leadership. This was which is the reason why, when what he said earlier, there are a lot more women than men because most of the men are locked up in jail because they create laws that lock men up. I mean, again, with Nixon, his war on drugs, literally, he literally said the most threat to his administration is the black man and the hippie.
Yep, the black man, black vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then after that, we had Reagan and his dare, and then we had Clinton and Biden with writing the damn crime bill with Strom Thurmond as his fucking best friend. So we've had these men literally creating laws. I mean, we have Alec. They create laws with with Republicans now, and it's all of it is basically creating laws to keep black men and basically keep the black family separate at all fucking times. That is their one and only goal. Is once they separate the black man from the black woman, they take away the power that we have. So I mean, if you look at everything down from the fucking music that we listen to, and even let's look about this. Who owns fucking BET? White people.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's insane. Like we look at how, in order for us to actually get it together, we have to know these fucking facts. One side think they know better than the other, where nobody wants to even share the fucking information because nobody wants to hear each other. Like there's a lot that we have to learn from each other in order for us to evolve. But if we can't talk to each other now, even in dating nowadays, okay, check this out. I done got ghosted. I done ghosted women. Just happens because the communication just isn't there. You know what I mean? It's like it seems like people can't even talk. It's even gotten bad to the point where dating now is non-existent with black men and black women. We're right now is the time we're supposed to be the fucking strongest. We're supposed to be. We had an entire fucking year to get together and be strong. Whole goddamn COVID. But that we ended up dividing more because of it seems to me the media and everything has been pitting black and black women and women against each other this entire time, and we're so fucking bamboozled by this and glamorized with all the shit that they showing us. We eat that shit up, but we don't eat up the fucking truth.
because we helping the narrative.
Yeah. Everything we do is helping America, and the Americans themselves is siphoning everything from us. They break up the black family. They take our talent. They do all this shit, and we let them do it, and we ain't coming with no damn solutions because we arguing with each other all goddamn time.
And that's what I was talking about for the black excellence was.
That shit right there.
We got to find an understanding, and
Because
this
I'm
whole
tired of sounding like I'm bashing black women.
And they tired of bashing us too. I'll guarantee it because we all got problems. If we want to, let's talk real. I'm from Chicago, born in Chicago, raised in Milwaukee. Again, straight up. When I grew up around, I grew up around a whole bunch of women raising boys. The entire time I didn't see no goddamn fathers, and the women when they was bullshit y'all not the way that they raise these boys is the reason why some of these niggas out in the streets right now is the way it is. Okay,
That's
I'm not gonna lie to y'all because these women
true.
because they got they think a certain way. That's toxic as fuck. They beat the shit out these boys,
Oh, we
Let me
right?
say
know.
something about. Let me say something about
We
that
I,
know.
though,
yeah, well, I see both sides though. Okay,
because you
mind
gotta
you,
understand, y'all. The first thing a woman hear when she's trying to raise her son is stop babying that boy.
right,
Stop, stop having him take pictures of match clothes with you. You see what I'm saying?
right. But
I disagree,
Feel
Lee.
like she has so
but
certain women feel the need that
I
they have
feel.
to be extra
I,
hard for their son.
Yeah, but don't come off the top ropes with the elbow though. That's all I'm saying.
I
You
disagree,
know,
Lee.
I agree. I
you
I
know.
absolutely
disagree.
right.
I'm
Yeah.
Gorilla
disagreeing.
pimping your son.
Wait, Savage, what you disagree with?
I mean, man, it's a lot of stuff there. Psychologically, hey, us as black people, we bring a lot of slave stuff still to
Oh
this
yeah.
day. A lot of slave mentality things come still to this day.
Hmm.
As
I
long,
mean, you gotta understand
uh,
it's designed that way, and it's
Yeah.
gonna stay that way, unless we change that. But if
personally, I
there's no
think
accountability, it's never gonna be
And
no.
it
It's gonna be the same thing.
and that's like how y'all was saying about like all right, as far as corporate America, y'all know the white man ain't finna hire no pro black power black man in no high position. He gonna always put the token house nigga right there.
oh they kept me down because of that.
And we know that.
Hmm.
We
Yeah,
know they ain't go because they scared of
I'm
masculine
I'm
black
gonna
men.
see.
That's why they try to put us in dresses and shit. They don't they not gonna put no men like us up in no goddamn high position. Cause we gonna put our people up in there.
Create the
But
position.
We got
Uncle
corrected.
Tom,
Yeah.
we can. And I was gonna say that earlier. Instead of complaining about corporate America, let's go create our own corporate America. But we ain't gonna do that because we want that good
Yeah,
job.
because when we
We
did, we
stopped
got it
being
bombed.
black independent when the white man gave us jobs.
But here's
When they
another
started giving
caveat
niggas
to that.
jobs, that's when the struggle started to. Oh, you can go.
Yeah. Even I even with us trying to get business together, I've noticed that even us trying to get business loans, black folks, even that is kind of difficult with those laws. And it always comes to them fucking laws, man. If you look at the redlining and things of that nature, how if you try to go for a home loan and you have a certain address on your license, they look at that address and be like, wait a minute, you from there? You trying to buy a home here? No, you're not buying this home. You from this area, and we know that you from this area, and we feel that your activity from that area is going to bring down the value of this area that you're trying to move to. So they wouldn't even sell to those people. So
Man, we don't
that
need no loans. All we need is each other. If
exactly.
we put money
That's
together,
what
we wouldn't need no loan.
that's a nigga.
Just like they
But
built Black
it's
Wall Street, we could have built that shit four, five, six, seven times.
And we
but
gonna tear the motherfucker down.
By now,
But we were
no, we
fearful
ain't
of
gonna
that
tear the
happening
niggas gonna
again.
tear it down, but that's the problem. And that's the thing. That's a whole different conversation. We ain't gonna have that
yeah,
conversation because it's this about toxic masculinity and femininity. So we ain't gonna have that
well,
conversation.
this
Okay.
conversation evolved like we all need to evolve.
We should. We need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's what actually, even with myself, came up off of the beginning was when it came to for was talking about toxic masculinity. It's the mentality to change from. You have to, as Hassan even said, you have to start evolving from that one. There are certain things that if you tell to other people, as he just said, that they'll call faggots or they'll say, "Oh, you're emotional," or blah blah blah. As that mindset to change, you can start learning how to unlock more things. There's tons of different avenues to your point. There's tons of different avenues that we can say, okay, instead of us waiting for it, we can build it ourselves. But then off that same token, we are also afraid from that one because then it's how do we maintain it? What do we need to do from it? And then majority of them that were built up are broken down. Just like currently right now, how there are I believe 4 different applications right now that are made to rival TikTok that are black owned, not pushed by the same creators that are on those same apps that are black, that are pushing pro-black ideas. So it's sometimes a warp and sometimes a misunderstanding. But then again, going back to the mentality of that, once you start changing that, you'll start able to opening more doors. And I think we said way back, I don't know, I think episode 1 or 2, that we'll start living in a world that it'll be no more first. There'll be no more first CEO, first female CEO, or first black this, or first Asian president. We'll start living in that world, but it will most likely be led by us.
Right.
And that's kind of fearful for a lot of higher ups.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. Y'all want to end it there?
You have any other questions?
Pretty good. Any final thoughts, Jade?
No.
Final thoughts, Lethal.
If you niggas took accountability more.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man, you gonna end like that. All right.
I said what I said.
One more jab, huh? Okay.
No, seriously though, on a real note. I only date black men. I only want to date black men.
Yeah.
Now, sadly, I'm approached by more other races than black men.
Mm-hmm.
But in my age, I mean, the pickings are slim. However,
I had a joke, but I didn't want to get hit.
niggas always got jokes, and that's the problem.
You know I always got jokes.
Niggas always got jokes, and that's the problem.
Son, got anything for us?
No, man. I appreciate y'all having me. First time on there, and it was fun. Good conversation.
Oh yeah, anytime. All right, man. We're gonna go ahead and end it there. Thank y'all for tuning
I don't get
in.
the last word. Oh, don't worry about it.
You got enough words, Brandon.
You right.
You go ahead. You got some.
I actually wanted to shout out not only the 2 people that I brought on here, the 2 people who are not on here anymore, because I don't know if they connection is boo boo or I don't know what they're doing, but the conversation that was actually stated back and forth. The reason why I muted myself, not only because I was on the phone, but the reason why I muted myself because I actually wanted to hear the inner workings of the 2 different ideas of going back and forth. Like that was very, very interesting, and I can actually use that information to actually speak with more people about this as well. So I'm all about building people, building character, and building ideas, and I can actually use that full conversation that was just said, because they were arguing the same points but opposite viewpoints, but at the base understanding of their arguments for both sides, I saw the problem on both. So being able to sit there and listen to that made me say, okay, so we're fighting the same fight. And in this case, it is a black man and a black woman, but we're fighting the same fight. We have a different viewpoint from that one. How can we build from that to not only become better together, but to have our next generation a little bit raised a little bit better so they can have even a better fight than we could.
Okay. Brandon X. All right.
Yeah, I've been called that before.
Nah, all right,
Hopefully
y'all.
I'll get shot.
Thank y'all for tuning in. We gonna end it there. See you next week. All right, y'all.
Bye.
All right.